good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing today? Good morning. True Blue Tie here from Thailand. Yes, sorry, come to Mai. I hope you're doing well. Hi, it is True Blue Tie from Thailand, and yes, we had an earthquake here in Thailand yesterday. I think it was basically it was pretty bad. It was mostly in Gruntab Mahanakhon. Gruntab Mahanakhon, if you don't know, is Bangkok, and I think there's a fault line going from Myanmar which goes down, and it affected Myanmar, which was a shallow earthquake of 7.7 on the Richter scale, for instance, which was quite shallow, for instance, which means it's at the top, which means it can cause the most damage. Pretty bad in Myanmar. God bless all the people in Myanmar, but the best. And for instance, and it affected. It went down to Gruntab. I know people in Gruntab, for instance, who were affected, who felt the shock. The building which collapsed, etc., which you saw on TV, was a audit building, and it was only 30% complete. So of course it didn't have its foundations properly in, or things like that. So for instance, and it appears that there was about 400 people working on the building, and mostly I expect probably Burmese, Myanmar, whatever. So for who do this kind of work, for instance, and so for instance, so for instance, when it collapsed, I think it was about 400 people contracted to the site. So I think it's down to, I think there were about 93 people were missing as of yesterday. The number is fluctuating up and down. So it was pretty bad, really. Thailand does not have earthquakes. Simple as that. We just don't get them. For instance, the last national disaster was the tsunami 20 years ago. But other than that, Thailand does not have tsunamis. Earthquakes. So this was very unprecedented. Thailand does have a lot of very high-rise blocks, very built up, Grunted, but has a lot of high-rise structures. Very modern, very safe. Do have swimming pools at the top, for the gliding guests to look out and sit down on it. And the buildings do shake. The buildings is designed to shake so of course, if you get any water on the top, it's going to come out. It's going to look quite dramatic. But I know there is a lot of cracks in people's apartments, etc., which has been shocked and whatever. But but apart from this building which collapsed, and for instance, I think we kind of got away with most of it. I think there was a road next to an one of the MIT stations, which was quite damaged. But overall, Thailand and Bangkok and Gruntab, with its infrastructure, kind of like got away with most things. But we turn ourselves to Myanmar. So, and I just pray the civil war, which is tore that country apart, and the people keep crossing the river, escaping the fighting. I hope they can come together and the lives of people, because they've had it bad. It's a 4-year war, and he's talking anything about it, and like America or Russia or whatever, nobody's talking. They're just letting them crack on. One of these silent wars, it goes on. Anyway, so moving on. So what's it go about? Thank God we're all okay. So let's move on. Man City on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. So a lot later than Thailand. It's about 11 o'clock in Thailand. About 30, over here, and we're playing Bournemouth and the. It's been a lot of news. Look at the first part of the press conference. Second part, a lot of nonsense by the journalists. But anyway, let's just talk about one thing first. So let's just talk about the tickets. What's going on? Because there's a massive uproar what's going on in the city at the moment with the fans, and it's to a point where there's going to be a protest by the 1894 for the Leicester game at the midweek of not sat outside. because partnerships and no, I don't know. So yeah, I tickets. So which for instance, I'm not happy. It was the final, which is up in the league. It was for tickets and the price of tickets. I think it's ridiculous. You know, I remember when I first went to Man City, it was for Man City. You know, for me in the kit packs. Now there's people seeing prices which I can't even in my how much people are paying for prices of football and yeah, and the loyal fans who've been going in supporting Man City through thick and thin, who can't go to the games, have been urged to sell their ticket, give the ticket back to the club, and the club will resell, and now trying to sell it to away supporters. They're not away supporters, highly influenced fans, but they always seem to end up in away supporters. But obviously, because we've had Liverpool, United, Real Madrid. I think the last game, Brighton, yeah, loud, and it's fans fighting each other. There's been caused, people have come, City fans have complained, bye, and then been told to sit down and shut up. So there's a massive bit of a disconnect at the moment with Man City, and we really need to get it sorted. I believe the representatives are sitting down with Man City this week. I think it's this week, and see if we crash and get some context of what we can do. I know two sides to every story, and we'll say a thing, but I do as a fan, but if the fact where you sit down and see if we can do something about this fans group, because at the moment there's such a certain degree of trust getting, which is really weird because Man City fans were always connected to the club. That's one of the reasons why Man City support, because we were always connected to the club. I always felt connected to the club, where the Rags don't give us, and we prayed out, prized ourselves not to be like the Rags. So hopefully we're not going to be like the Rags. I hope you get down and we'll sort some out. Anyway, so so Pepper had his press conference at the boring, putting off, how to settle in, didn't speak English yet, and there was crazy, pathetic. What's Man City's summer strategy? Are you going to implement strategy? What a stupid question to ask. It's like they're always looking for the store. One guy asked one probably relevant questions. How's the injury situation? Apart from they're a bit, everything's okay. He talked about Mario. I want to know. I want to know more about Mario. Is he playing? What's the defense? Because we're doing our sign up. We want to know, for instance, who's our defense going to be? I know, and you're relying on the to ask a question, and they do it, and just you're mad. The second part, hopefully, will have to be better, more prevalent questions. I can't stand this break in the of press conferences. Anyway, so for instance, he was asked about Grealish, a ridiculous question. Rodri playing. Is he helping? KDB, well, KDB is going to be in KDB. I believe KDB what he's hoping to stay. Let's see. Now, but other than that, for instance, there was a cup and bonuses. And I was seeing that story on Sky News. The story of the bonus. Just Pep with just news. It's news. So Sky Sports don't have back pages tonight. Pep been good. He's in that mistake and blow it all. Sky News, absolute garbage. And so anyway, so I'm going to move on from Pet's press conference and I'll talk about the game. Of course, we've got a mega important FA Cup quarter-final, beat Bournemouth, for instance, who are in a of with Bournemouth. Is that the vitality? It's going to be at it's at the vitality. It's going to be at what's it called? It's going to be a difficult day. It's going to be a ridiculous start time because it appears that the last train leaving from back to Manchester. Let's go. You need to leave 15 minutes before time if you want to go and catch that train. So great time. They could have had it at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, just like they got the games on today. No, they put it up. Stupid with a clock. And the fans going down, traveling down to Bournemouth. It looks like you have to stay overnight or driving back or an etc. From the stupid British translation system. British translation system. Don't know if you don't know it. I live in Scandinavia, I live in Spain, I live in it. Even in Thailand. Thailand's got a better transportation system in the UK. Most expensive in London, and also the most irreliable. And if you how much money on a train, I'd rather have a Thai train, than a British train any day. So, but anyway, so Bournemouth have a bit of a role. Kind of on the same as what City are. They're recent. Also, they've got a few players which are missing as well. They're definitely going to miss Unel, and they've got two guys which which is very promising guys, Kersel and who's then but also they don't have Dean. Sorry, Jen and yes, he won't be playing. I've just said, and Luis Sinis or Marcos Sinis. Sorry, I do get your names wrong. But also so they're the same players for them, which is interesting. Of the squad, they're going to be weak by those players because they were very very good players, especially some guys. Easily teams really well. So I think play him was good. So let's have a look. Peringo. Remember him in the penalty shoot. I'm off. Then the back line of Soiler, Denisi, Jabari, and Cook. Okay, Cook. Adams, Scott. The wing, Semenko player, and Manny and Everson up front. Just him. That's what they expect Bournemouth to line up. Could be different. Sorry, I got the names wrong, but how they start. They did a difficult game. Small stadium, small compact ground. So, for instance, it was the start of our bad run. So we've got to get revenge. No, I'll say going to Bournemouth, no problem. It was at the Etihad, not worried. But it's going to be a very difficult game for us. And how we're going to go? Well, for me, Edison, I believe he's back. So I've got to play your best player, best goalkeeper, even though I believe he's leaving. Nunes, Kuzanov, Diaz, and Guardiola in the back line. Hopefully that'll be the back line. Gonzalez and Gundogan in the middle. This is what I expect. Mamouche and Haaland in the centre with Savinio and Doku and up front. Don't think, if I wasn't going to play Gundogan, I'd play KDB. But because he was pretty decent form for Belgium. Can replicate against City for City. Foden, just keep him on the bench. Jack, whether it deserves, I don't know whether you're going to see Jack for the rest of the season. Maybe not. But we really got to we really got to go for this. Is that only way we're going to get silverware this season, apart from within the Charity Shield, and the Club World Cup. But other than that, for instance, it's a mega important game. And again, for instance, semi-finals will be in Wembley. But it's a mega important game for City to win. So probably the biggest game of the season. Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We've got a second part of Pep Guardiola's press conference, so I'll bring tomorrow. For instance, so I don't want to bore you with my videos. But it's going to be a good game. Again, for instance, this is Saturday, one South. So, for instance, we've got a second part of Beb's of what he's going to say. But but other than that, I'll catch you tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking. Are you worried about the 115? Have you got any issues with ticketing? Do you go? Do you what was your price of tickets? You know, how much have you been quoted? I hope you wish you well, for instance, and wish all the people in Burma and Thailand, for instance, well. And and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Sorry, Cat from Thailand, True Blue Thai. Take care.